السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على أشرف المخلوقين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Inshallah, we'll be continuing the sessions that we're talking about the A'imma of Islam: Abu Hanifa, Malik, Shafi'i, and Ahmed. We already were able to cover the first two, Abu Hanifa and Malik. And today we're starting with the third one, Al-Imam Al-Shafi'i. And probably we are going to be talking about someone who is really a very unique person. The reason that there are many things that we're going to see in this Imam. Number one of the major things about this Imam, that he is the only one among the four Imams that he is related to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, family-wise. Imam al-Shafi'i, his name is Muhammad ibn Idris ibn Shafi', and his lineage go to Al-Muttalib, not Abdul Muttalib, Al-Muttalib. Let's see the Prophet's lineage. He's Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, son of Abdullah, son of Hashim, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, son of Abdullah, son of Abdul Muttalib, son of Hashim. Right? Hashim is the brother of Al-Muttalib. Hashim is the brother of Al-Muttalib. Al-Muttalib is the great-grandfather of Al-Shafi'i. So he is related to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from this side. Plus, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to say, we, Banu Hashim and Banu Muttalib, are the same. We, Banu Hashim, which is the lineage of the Prophet, and Banu Muttalib, we are the same. By the way, all of you say you heard the word Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's not his name, by the way. His name is Shayba. His name is Shayba. So why that name of Abdul Muttalib? Very interesting. Shayba, so Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, son of Abdullah, son of Shayba. Shayba, son of Hashim. Hashim and Al-Muttalib were brothers. Shayba, when Hashim, Hashim, subhanallah, Hashim, when he traveled once, his brother, who passed away, left a wife and a son. So what happened? They left and they lived somewhere else, not in Mecca. After a while, the uncle didn't like it, so he went and he brought his nephew. When he brought his nephew with him, nobody knew about him. The child was already like 10 years, so people don't know. When he came to Mecca, Shayba is coming to Mecca. He's coming with who? With Al-Muttalib. You following me? No? Yes? Should I say it over? Good. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, son of Abdullah, son of Abdul Muttalib. Abdul Muttalib, his name is, so you know that one. Good. So his name is Shayba. So Shayba is the son of who? Hashim. Beautiful. Hashim is the brother of Al-Muttalib. Hashim died and he left who? Shayba with his mother, right? The mother of Shayba left Mecca. Hashim, right? Al-Muttalib and Hashim are brothers. Now Al-Muttalib, which is, I'm talking the great-grandfather of Al-Shafi'i, once when he traveled, right, what he did? He brought with him his nephew. You're following now? Are you sure? You too also? Alhamdulillah. So when he came to Mecca, he was riding a horse or a camel, and with him there was this child. So when the people saw him, what they told? First thing that they may think about, it could be who? A slave. So they start saying, Abdu al-Muttalib. What's Abd? Slave of. So they thought that he is the slave of al-Muttalib, and the name went like that, so he's called Abdu al-Muttalib. Now this al-Muttalib that I'm talking about, he is the great-grandfather of al-Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah. Good? Now moving on. Al-Imam al-Shafi'i, also same thing happened. His father, right, his name by the way, Muhammad ibn Idris. Muhammad ibn Idris. This Idris migrated and he was living in Gaza. Subhanallah, our brothers. He was living in Gaza, Sham at that time. And he passed away. When he passed away, the baby, which is Muhammad ibn Idris al-Shafi'i, was a baby. So he stayed with his mom there. So Imam al-Shafi'i was born in Gaza, by the way. Just to say this one. In 2 years, after 2 years, the mother, and by the way, when he passed away, he was very poor. And then he died, so the situation became even worse. So imagine a woman in this situation, what good can she do? By herself? So she decided to go back to Mecca. Probably his uncles are there. Probably she could get some help over there. But something interesting about this woman, it is unique. From the first day, she said about this child, قالت إني نظرتك لله. I'm going to put another, like I am putting you for the sake of Allah. She wants that child to go for ilm shari, regardless. The woman doesn't have anything, no income, but it was in her mind that this child will be doing this. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants things to happen, it will happen. And when you have the sincerity, things will happen. Just a little touch. We're going to realize the three of the imams, 3 of the 4 imams, all 3 of them, the major person who play a role in their life are their mothers. Imam al-Shafi'i, we mentioned right now. Imam Malik, you remember I told you last week, his mom, how she invests everything. And then the last one, Imam Ahmad. All those 3 great people, the Imam of Islam, it is the mother who invests, the mother who did all the job. That probably will answer to something very interesting. That the enemy of Islam realize that this ummah, there's only one way to destroy it, is to take the women from home to work outside. And if they can do that, the job is done. Historically, there were so many waves of armies going, attack the Muslims, but always they were defeated. Because there was a woman in the house who are building the man in the proper way. But that's one woman, they took her outside. We know the result. We are the result, with all the respect to ourselves. So going back again, Imam al-Shafi'i was born in Gaza at 2 years old. The mother brought him to Mecca. And there, she insisted that he will go first, memorize the Quran. Imam al-Shafi'i was a genius. Some people, they said, among like the most genius people that existed on this earth, Shafi'i is one of them. Brother Marhoob is not happy with that. But this is the truth. They said this man, he was just a genius person. Here's the reason why. The mom sent him to memorize Quran. But then she doesn't have even the money to pay the teacher, the muqri', the qari. And he has to pay, even a little bit, but even that little bit he doesn't have. And if he doesn't pay, the teacher will not bring him to read for him his sabaq, let's say. Because he take one by one. The mother said to the son, you know what you're going to do? Try to sit close to someone from the rich families. So when he is teaching him, you also just listen. That's how he learned. And then, subhanallah, probably he was abandoning him, that sheikh, because he's not being paid. There was a certain circumstances that the sheikh has to go somewhere. and someone has to take care of the kids. Guess who did? A Shafi'i, that little child, who was hardly 6, 7 years old. When he came back, he realized how he is able to control. So he said, from today, you don't have to pay me, but you take care of the other kids. Imam Shafi'i memorized the Quran at the age of 7. His memorization, everybody talk about his memorization that he has a photographic memory. Meaning, if you look at the page, one time, say, look, it's an exaggeration. It's not an exaggeration. Imam Shafi'i used to say, if the book is open like this, I put my hand on the other page, otherwise it disturbs me when I read this one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him this kind of ability to memorize things so fast. So he finished the memorization of the Quran at the age of 7. Subhanallah. Now, the mother sent him now to learn about what? The hadith of the Prophet ﷺ from the scholars of Mecca. Because he was where? He was in Mecca. He learned. You need help? Okay. So he learned in Mecca and he stayed for a certain number of years. Now he acquired, looks like he acquired all the ilm of Mecca from the scholars that used to be in there. So what happened, subhanAllah? He heard about the giant of that time, which is Imam Malik rahimahullah. Imam Shafi'i was born in 150 Hijri. You know what is that year? That's the same year when Imam Abu Hanifa passed away. So Imam Shafi'i never saw Imam Abu Hanifa. Some of the historians even said that he was born probably the same day when Imam Abu Hanifa passed away. So that time, I'm saying, now he's in Mecca, the mother heard about Imam Malik. And then she wants to send him to learn from Imam Malik. They don't have funds. They don't have anything. Plus, Imam Malik was a person who would not pick everybody, but he would choose the students. If someone was not interested in learning, he doesn't want him. He chose the students. So what happened? The mother went to the mayor of Mecca, let's say, the wali of Mecca. And she spoke to him and she said, this is my son. If you can write me a recommendation letter to who? To the wali of Medina, to the governor of Medina, so he could talk to Malik, so he will accept my child. He said, okay, but I don't think Malik will do that. Malik was a sharp person. So they wrote the letter of recommendation. He took it and they traveled. They traveled to Medina. Now in Medina, the mayor of Medina, he sent somebody with the family, with subhanallah, with the Shafi'i, Muhammad ibn Idris, to the house of Imam Malik. When they knock the door and they say, who is he? They say, this is a letter, somebody is coming from the mayor. He said, Imam Malik, and this is just the servant, his answer, say, if you have any question regarding the fiqh issues, write it down and give it to me, and I will give it to the Imam. If you have something else, then you wait until the Imam Malik, he goes to the masjid. There's nothing called, because I am, subhanallah. Finally, he said, the person who went, let's say the head of the police department at that time, he said, this letter, it is from the governor, because we want to speak to Malik. Okay, Malik came out. How can I help you? He said, this is a person, he got a recommendation letter from the governor of Mecca to you so you could accept him. Malik said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Even the ilm, we need wasata, we need someone, right, in between. You know that I don't accept this. At that moment, Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah said something. He said, I am from a poor family, and this is my mom, and I am from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam's family. That make the heart of Malik to be soft. And he said, okay, but what do you know? He said, قَرَأْتُ كِتَابَكَ. I already memorized your book. Remember we talk about the book of Malik, Al-Muwatta, right? And that's like one of the greatest books. Malik, you want to put him on test. He said, okay, اقرأ علي. Now you're going to start reading. It's not just a joke. We're not talking about he memorized the Quran. Now he memorized the entire Muwatta. So he sat and he was listening to him. Malik was impressed, amazed. Not only, they said, the way how he was reading, the style he was reading, and his voice also was very sweet. That even Malik accepted him, and then he said, from tomorrow you will be sitting very close to me. Imam al-Shafi'i told us a few things that happened with him and Malik. He said, I respected Malik in a way that you cannot even imagine. When I used to open my book and turn the pages, I make sure that I don't make noise so it will not disturb Malik. And Malik looked at the child and he has something called firasa, like you have some ideas. He said, إني أرى الله قد ألقى في قلبك نورا فلا تطفئه بظلمة المعصية. He said, I see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He put light in your heart. Don't turn off that light by disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the starting of Malik, Shafi'i and Malik. He's going to stay with Malik until the age of 15, by the way. Let me tell you one thing very interesting. Malik, Shafi'i said at the age of 15, the scholars, they give me the authorization, the ijaza, that I can sit for fatwa. Imagine at the age of 15, and you're talking not about now, you're talking about that time when those greatest people were there. You're talking about Abu Hanifa and Malik and Muhammad ibn Hassan, Abu Yusuf. But his mom said, no, this is not yet for you. First you learn this, go finish the ilm of Malik. He finished with the ilm of Malik, subhanAllah. Imagine, we're talking about Malik, and he talked about Malik, because Shafi'i talked a lot about Malik when he said, إِذَا ذُكِرَ الْعُلَمَاء فَمَالِكُ هُوَ النَّجْمُ. If the scars are being mentioned, then Malik, he is actually the star. So, in a certain time you could say that Shafi'i is a Maliki, because he learned. But he didn't stop there. Now he said, if I already learned the ilm of Mecca and the ilm of Medina, now he wants to go where? Al-Iraq, Al-Kufa, exactly. You remember we say the Hanafi madhab flourished, established in Kufa, so he decided to go there, Al-Iraq. So he went there, subhanAllah. He was very lucky. He was very lucky, subhanAllah. Sorry. He was very lucky that he met somebody, which is one of the students of Al-Imam Abu Hanifa, and that's Muhammad ibn al-Hassan, one of the famous students of Abu Hanifa. Whenever Abu Hanifa is being mentioned, we mention something else. His two students called As-Sahiban, the two ones, and that's Muhammad ibn al-Hassan al-Shaybani and Al-Qadi Abu Yusuf. These are the smartest students of Abu Hanifa. Not only that, maybe two-thirds of the Hanafi madhab, it's not the opinion of Abu Hanifa, but it's the opinion of who? Abu Yusuf al-Qadi and Muhammad ibn al-Hassan. By the way, Muhammad ibn al-Hassan al-Shaybani, he also one of the students of Malik. He was in Malik time and he learned the Muwatta from Malik, and there's a version, a narration of the Muwatta which is narrated by Muhammad ibn al-Hassan. So he stayed with him for a while and he learned. But that was not enough for Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah. So the ilm of Mecca, the ilm of Medina, the ilm of Kufa, and that's not enough. So actually what he decided to go for something further. To do something further, guess what he did? He said, I'm going to go to where? To Yemen. So he went to Yemen and he stayed there. At that time, Yemen had a big number of Shia. But the madhab was there, it's al-madhab al-Zaydi, al-Zaydiyah, not Brother Zayd. The Zaydiyah madhab. The Zaydiyah madhab is the closest madhab to Ahlul Sunnah. The closest one. Number one, the Zaydis, they don't curse the Prophet Muhammad they don't curse the Sahaba. They don't curse Aisha, they don't. But they have masail, differences in fiqh's issues. So they are the closest madhab to what? To Ahlul Sunnah. So he went there. And he learned the Shia madhab also. And he got into a lot of debates. And Al-Shafi'i was very well known that he was one of the best people that could debate. He was unique in that matter. They said, this man, subhanallah, if in any issue he will debate with you, he will be able to win. But he had a style and a way. He was very pleasant. And he said something. I don't know how anyone could have this kind of feeling. If we say it, we may think it's just a joke or a lie. He said, I swear by Allah, whenever I had any munadara, right, debate with someone, I always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He will put the haqq on His tongue, not on my tongue. Meaning, because whenever we get into any debate, what happens? Sometimes it's hatred that's being created. Because I want to show that I am right and you are wrong. And always when I win, I know that there's something bad in your heart. Shafi'i rahimahullah wants to avoid that. He was always asking, oh Allah, put the haqq on the tongue of that person. Not only that, we have many debates that took place, and the books of debates of Shafi'i was beautiful. He had a debate with someone called Ishaq ibn Rahawayh, a big scholar also. And one time they had a little debate about a certain issue, and probably Ishaq was not happy. And he was also one of the big scholars. So he went home. Shafi'i in the afternoon, he went to Ishaq and he said, you know what? We may have different opinion, but that should not make any of us having any kind of hatred to the other one. We are still brothers, subhanallah. Well, this is actually the Shafi'i rahimahullah. He finished with the ilm of Yemen. So you see now, we're talking about ilm of Mecca, ilm of Medina, ilm of Iraq, ilm of Yemen. Now he's coming back. In coming back, he remembers something very interesting. When he was in the halaqah of Imam Malik, he heard one of the big scholars, his name is Al-Layth ibn Sa'd. This is also one of the A'imma, but he was not being carried on his name like Imam Malik. He was equal to Imam Malik. And the people said, some of them, they said, Al-Layth ibn Sa'd, he has more fiqh than Malik, but Malik has students that carry his knowledge and his ilm, but Al-Layth did not. And Al-Layth actually, he moved to Egypt and stayed there. By the way, Al-Layth ibn Sa'd, a very interesting person to learn about. He was a very rich person, super rich person. And most of the people that the fuqaha and the ulama, he used to spend on them, meaning he used to give them what they need for the entire year. Do you know that Al-Layth ibn Sa'd has money that you cannot even imagine? But you know what? In the end of the year, he doesn't pay zakat. What? How bad is this guy? Because there's no money that stays with him for the whole hawl, for the whole year. It may look like an exaggeration, but a lot of people talk about Al-Layth ibn Sa'd. Going back, Shafi'i heard from Al-Layth ibn Sa'd that anyone who could unite this ummah because of the division that was taking place because of the people of Iraq and the people of Medina, remember we say people of Athar, the people of Ra'i, someone who has to learn the language, the lugha, more than anyone else. You may say, all of them, they spoke Arabic. No, that's not speaking Arabic is enough. No, it's not. It's to know the deepest of what? Of the Arabic language. Imam, subhanallah, Imam al-Shafi'i, he's going to go and stay for 3 years with a qabila, a tribe called Hudayl. And those were very well known that they are like the fasaha, the eloquency. In the Arabic, the best. And he finished with them within like 3 years, and he came with what? He memorized 10,000 verses of poetry. You may say, what that has to do with that? You cannot understand Quran if you don't understand poetry. That is out of question. All the Arabic language, it's in that poetry, especially the pre-Islamic poetry. Because this Quran was being revealed to who? To those Arabs. And those Arabs learn from that. And Abdullah ibn Abbas, Habr al-Ummah, the scholar of Ummah, he had more knowledge than any of the Sahaba about the Arabic poetry. And that's why he was too advanced in that. That Imam Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu ardah, and I will finish with that today inshallah. Umar radiallahu anhu, in his khilafah, whenever there is some issue, some fiqh issue, so the Sahaba, they talk about it and give their opinion. I'm talking about Sahaba of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, born and raised in Arabia, but didn't have that much knowledge of poetry like Abdullah ibn Abbas. So he said he used to bring me with shuyukh, with like the big guys, the Sahaba. And he used to put me there. And some of the Sahaba were not happy with that because Abdullah ibn Abbas, you're talking about someone who is in 20s or whatever, and the Sahaba were in 50s and 60s. And so some of the masail. One of them, Umar radiallahu anhu said, any of you could understand this, the ayah that says, إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحِ وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ أَفْوَاجًا فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ وَاسْتَغْفِرْهُ إِنَّهُ كَانَ تَوَّابًا. He said, what is this? So most of the people say this is the circumstances of the revelation of this ayah. And Abdullah ibn Abbas, مَا أَرَى ذَلِكَ إِلَّا نَعْيًا لِلنَّبِي. He said, indeed, I see that it means the Prophet will die very soon. Umar said, مَا أَرَى فِيهَا إِلَّا ذَلِكَ. This is what I see also. So I'm going back again. So Ash-Shafi'i rahimahullah, so he was able to acquire the ilm of Mecca, ilm of Medina, ilm of Iraq, ilm of Yemen, and the Arabic language. Is that all? No, he's not going to finish that. He's going to learn more stuff. Inshallah, we'll continue tomorrow. May Allah forgive all of us. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.